Good morning, coolest coast, and welcome to Coffee with Kristin and Tina. It is a beautiful, sunny Tuesday. It's July 28th, 2020, 71 degrees and sunny. Kristin, I love your new mug.
Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I was just telling Tina, I bought this at the Flower Gallery here in town. Thank you, Dana, for being so smart and luring me with these beautiful things.
The windows at the Flower Gallery are so beautiful. It really is alluring.
Yeah. So I walked in early last week to pick up an order, and I was like, ooh, cool mug. And I didn't buy it because I do a self-restraint sometimes. And then I went back later in the week to pick up flowers for a friend. And then I was like, ooh, I don't think I can leave a second time without it. So I bought it.
Nice. That's a good purchase. It totally suits you. I love the cute design. And you know what, too? The way you were just holding it, highlights in the background behind you, it says, be the exception. I like that.
That's right. So
is that your puppy?
Yeah. The babysitter's here, you guys. It's Tuesday morning at 8:30. Mama's on the show. So the baby's right here. So yes, those are our puppies barking in the back. Tina, did you guys have a good weekend?
Yeah, we did. It went incredibly fast. And I don't know if it's because it was so hot that we actually didn't do as much as I wanted to do. Like, I had these plans for this bike ride out at Point Beach, and then I stepped outside and that wall of heat, I'm like, oh, no, just not even going to.
Right.
What about you guys? You look like you're sunburned again.
I'm not sunburned.
You're not? Okay.
I'm just glowing. It's
just the sun-kissed.
Yeah. No, we had a great weekend. Saturday was my mom's birthday, so we spent.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, Mama Vicky. We spent Saturday afternoon just hosting a little bit of our family, and we spent almost the whole evening outside on the patio, which was just gorgeous. I feel like we're so lucky. These evenings we've had are just amazing.
This summer has been sunnier, warmer, and much fewer mosquitoes than in the last few years. Do you remember there was like a year or two ago where if you stepped outside, even in full sunlight, it was like thousands of mosquitoes were just everywhere? Yeah, we're really lucky this summer, all things considered.
It's just been so stunning. And I mean, we had other stuff. The girls had, softball practice and things like that. But I mean, overall, it was just a really fabulous weekend. So
have you guys seen fireflies while you've been out at night? I mean, the season might be over now, but a couple of times.
So I would say around the 4th of July, we definitely saw them up north when we were up there. We really haven't seen them around our house here, but the butterflies, we have seen so many monarch butterflies here, which the girls love. And for us, sometimes that means my grandma Zip is around. I feel like she comes in the form of a butterfly to visit us. And, so I just feel like they've been around a lot. So anybody else notice butterflies or other things hatching around their house? It's been really pretty.
Yeah, I've seen tons of baby rabbits. It seems like everywhere I go, not just my yard, but driving along the road, like, oh, look there's 5 baby rabbits hanging out there. And yesterday I was driving down Michigan Avenue, and there was this beautiful doe, this huge doe just standing there, like watching the traffic go by.
We also have had these little teeny, like when I say teeny, they're like the end of my nose teeny, little frogs. Around our house. And I don't know if they're babies or if it's like the species of them. The girls have loved seeing them and kind of chasing them around a little bit.
I love that because they usually say frogs are indicative of a healthy ecosystem, that they're very fragile and can't really survive if, something is amiss. So I take that as a really good sign.
Yeah, I think, we've had a good amount of rain this summer, balanced with the sun, so things are really growing. And I know the corn behind our house is higher than we've ever seen it before. I swear it's never been this tall. So, yeah, we are just lucky. We're lucky to have this weather this summer.
Yeah, I agree. And, last night I stepped outside. Just at the moment, I looked up, there's like this bright star, and actually it started moving, and I realized it was the International Space Station going overhead. Yeah, it was so cool.
That sounds really cool. Have you guys ever used the app, and I have to think about what it's called, where you can like hold your phone up and see what the constellations are?
Yes. Yes, that is a cool app.
Yeah, the girls love to do this. If you guys haven't done it, I'll see if I can find it while we're on the show here. But the girls have totally done this. They go outside, they see, what usually planets look like really bright stars. And so they'll go out and say, hey, can I use your phone? And they just get so excited.
Yeah, it's awesome. The night sky is so beautiful, and it is fascinating to watch how it changes through the
Right.
seasons. Like in this season, the Big Dipper seems to be in the northwest. And then, okay, let's see, what's it called?
This one, well, there's all different ones. This one's called Skylight. Of course, it wants me to upgrade now. Skyview Light. It's a free version. I don't know. That's
Nice.
probably very good. But yeah.
Oh, Skywalk. Thanks, Shannon. Thank you.
Yeah.
Did you also get a chance to see the Comet Neowise?
I did not. Tell me about this.
So there is a comet. It's called Neowise. It was in the skies for most of July, and it won't come around again for another 7,000 years. So the first couple of nights we tried to see it, it was raining and overcast, so of course there was no chance. And then one night Teek's friend mentioned, hey, I can see the comet. So we jumped in the car and like drove out past the city lights to like a big open field. And it wasn't as bright as I expected, but sure enough, you could see it. It was like, trailing like smoke kind of behind it. It was pretty fascinating.
Did you have to have binoculars or a telescope to see it, or could you see it with your naked eye?
It was the naked eye. I wish I had had binoculars or something, because I think that would have, really punched it up. But even with the naked eye, it was fascinating.
Oh my gosh, that is incredible.
Yeah.
So cool. Okay, so we're kind of talking about like fun stuff. So Jason has a picture of Doug. Doug and I were really lucky. Our girls were at Vacation Bible School last week, so we got a date night Wednesday night, and we went down to visit the badger along the lake, and we skipped on the rocks down by the lake, which our kids love to do. And so Tina and I are kind of wondering this morning, what are some things that you do to act like a kid? Or when is the last time that you acted like a kid? Because it can be pretty good for the soul.
That is a great question. I agree. And I would love to hear what people have done. And because it looked like Doug was having so much fun.
Yeah. He was like, what do they do? Because they're like these huge boulders. And I'm like, you have to run and like skip and jump over them. And, of course, he's like, this feels dangerous. And I'm like, well, maybe it is. Maybe that's why they love doing it. It's the thrill of jumping on jagged edges and uneven surfaces. And
I feel like becoming a mom really helped me embrace being a kid again. I feel like for a long time I was just sort of a serious adult, but then when my son was young, I started just, doing all these playful things with him. Like in the winter, we would completely snowsuit up, right? Everything was covered. And so then we'd like crawl on our bellies under the cedars where all the snow was. It's a place you would never go in the summer, right? But in the winter, everything was snow packed and like there were no bugs or anything. And so it was like this whole cool point of view on the world. And I remember having like an epiphany at that moment, like I wouldn't be doing this if I weren't with a kid and in a child's mind. And it was so fantastic.
Right. Yeah. I think it just, seeing life through their eyes or asking them, well, what do you guys want to do today? Sometimes brings that out, it can bring that out in you. And so we had fun, going for a walk and goofing around down by our awesome lake shore. And I feel lucky to be able to go and do that.
What do the girls think of the badger statue?
So the girls haven't been there yet.
Oh.
Yeah, I got to go, but the girls didn't get to go yet. So
it was a mom and dad date.
It was a mom and dad date.
Right.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So Emily said that she and her husband and son have dance parties. The more ridiculous the dancing, the better. They have a disco light that has a Bluetooth speaker, and it adds an extra fun touch to the dance parties. Mm-hmm. So fun. Yeah, great idea.
Thanks, Emily. We have dance parties too, and I love it. I think it's so fun. Oh, Chris. Chris was dancing in the bathroom this morning when she was brushing her teeth. And she said, of course, a good game of hide and seek with the neighbor kids is wonderful play.
It's just so refreshing to the spirit to do something fun like that, to see the world through kids' eyes.
Yeah, and silly. Like, Chris, I'm sure Patrick and Megan love playing hide and go seek with you. I have no doubt. The girls last week, one day with the babysitter, they had water balloons, which we just haven't had in a long time. And so they were throwing them and playing in 5-gallon buckets of water with them. And some of them were like so big, they were carrying them around, and they had them named, and, there were certain colors, and they just had such a ball. And it was like, these are 99-cent pack of balloons and a couple 5-gallon buckets, and they were entertained for the afternoon.
Yeah, that is awesome. Well, and when we went rock climbing too, that really made me feel like I was embracing my inner kid.
Yes.
And it also made me wonder why I don't do that stuff more often.
Right. No, I agree with you about that. And I think just to kind of go back, I know we talked about this a little bit, but kind of that the willingness to let go in rock climbing, I think that can apply to just the willingness to play and not have to be an adult, taking our adult hat off for a little bit and being willing to be goofy or silly.
Right. And I do think that's important too as a mom. Sometimes the structure or the story, right, that like my son would be playing with, I'm like, well, wouldn't you want to do it this way? Wouldn't that make more sense? And then like I realized I just had to take that structure off and like go, okay, the story's going this way. Okay, okay, it's a knight and he's battling a pufferfish. Let's do this.
Yeah. There's actually a book, and I've got to figure out what it's called, but you get to choose the path. And so part of it is about, it's probably more like responsible decision making, but the kids get to choose. And I think it's just such a cool concept of like what the different outcomes can be, and helping them see there's so many different ways that you can do things.
It's interesting because there was a video game that Teak was playing when he was younger. It was called Undertale. And I wasn't sure how to feel about it at first. I was kind of closely monitoring his video game content. But I realized this game, like when something would happen to you, like you'd earn hearts. And the whole point of the game was the nicer you were, the better the results. And you could play the game as kind of a jerk. You could just randomly kill stuff or whatever. But then the points and like your ranking and all that stuff would be negatively affected. And I thought, oh my gosh, this game, it still was just like fun gameplay, but like the underlying message was encouraging kindness and compassion. I was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
I love that. All right. Good morning, Tammy. She went to Door County yesterday with her daughter, sat on the schoolhouse beach building rock towers. How fun.
Nice.
It was hot, hot, hot yesterday. You guys picked a hot day to be up there.
Yeah, but nice to be by the beach. I wonder if that was nice and cool.
Yeah, I bet. And if you were climbing a tower, it probably would have been cooler as you went up a little bit, which might have been nice.
Oh, you know what? Maybe I misinterpreted what that said. I thought they were building towers out of rocks.
Bring it back, Jason. Can you bring it back?
Bring it back.
There we go. Schoolhouse Beach. Oh, you were right. I read it wrong. There you go. They were building rock towers. Even more fun. They were not climbing. We stand corrected.
So I wonder if that's a beach that has like just plentiful rocks everywhere.
Mm-hmm. I do know there's some beaches up there that just have these, little kind of circular pebbles all over. What a fun way to spend the day.
Yeah. Yeah.
There is something about rocks that kids are so infatuated with. I feel like the girls all the time are bringing rocks, showing me rocks, asking me to hold rocks.
I can't help it. I love picking up rocks too and collecting them, putting them in my pockets.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Patty, I completely agree. She said, riding my bike makes me feel like a kid again. Wind in the hair.
Yeah. So there's a ladies group if anybody wants to ride bikes. We meet at 6:15 on Wednesday mornings and ride. Teresa Falvey started this little group, and I just admire her so much for always throwing these fun ideas together. And sometimes I feel like when I get on my bike that first, I'm like, wow, it feels high up here.
I've had it on my calendar the last couple of weeks, and I've had a conflict come up each Wednesday. Are you guys doing it tomorrow? Okay, I think I'm on for tomorrow. Yeah. Emily says one thing that her family's gotten into is Pokemon Go. Going out with nieces and nephews, even her mom is getting into it. It's a fun thing that brings the family together, keeps everyone active, and lets us explore the lakeshore together. Emily, I completely agree. When Teak was younger, we were all over Pokemon Go. And wherever we'd go, like, if we were traveling or something, we'd stop and search for the Pokemon. And yeah, he was clocking tons of miles playing that game.
Okay, so my girls do not do Pokemon Go. So on behalf of all the people who have no idea what that is, I believe you go and collect points when you get close to locations that there's a thing, but tell us more.
Yeah, so it is digital. So like it's on your phone, and Pokemon are like these little critters, these little make-believe characters, and you can collect them. And then once you have them, you can also feed them, and they can morph and grow into new cool things. But to play Pokemon Go, like let's say you're downtown Manitowoc, it'll show you like, oh, there's this critter over there, and oh, there's that critter over there. And to catch it, you have to like throw a Pokeball at it. So you have to have the right aim and everything on your phone. It's not a given. And then there are also, I think it's called a gym. And so when you sign up, you're like either red or yellow or blue. That's kind of your team. And then there's a gym. And let's say the red team has it and you're yellow. You can go and use your Pokemon characters to try and battle and win that gym for your team.
Cool.
And apparently, like geographically, so the Pokemon that are here in Manitowoc might not be the same as the Pokemon that are in Miami, Florida, for example. They might be different than what's in Los Angeles.
Very cool. How do Pokemon Go get established if they're digital? Am I asking you too difficult a question?
Yeah. I was impressed that I even pulled that description out. He gave up on it. He hasn't been playing it now for a couple of years, but it was so fun when it first came out. And it was super social too. You'd show up downtown and there'd be like all these other people like looking at their phones, and you could tell they were looking for the different critters that were around.
Right. Okay, so if somebody knows that answer, we'll take the pressure off of Tina. How Pokemon Go's get established if they're digital? Tell us that answer today.
Well, and you know what? It uses, let me ask the producer, what's that called? Where you see the environment, but then there's a digital thing.
Augmented reality, AR.
AR, augmented reality. So like on your phone, you would look and you would actually see like downtown, like you'd show you the clock, it would show you the library, but all of a sudden sitting on top of the clock is this little digital figure. So it has to do with augmented reality.
Okay. Here.
Oh, Emily, thanks for that explanation. So they're random. And then, like, for example, if you're by the water, there might be more water-related Pokemon there. But I know when we went to our sister city in Japan, there were Pokemon there that aren't available here.
Sure.
So it's like a big thing. He was like, oh my God, I hope I can find, Pokemon, whatever. Right.
Very cool. Well, I have learned so much about Pokemon Go today. I had no
idea. So are you feeling happy, Kristin? I'm going to show you a picture and you tell me which matches your emotion right now.
Let's see. I would like to say that I am the one in the upper right corner today.
Nice.
How about you, Tina? Which one are you?
I think I'm the one on the far left, second from the bottom, the little huggy face with the hands. Happy, silly.
I love it.
So, that was the closest to jazz hands.
Yeah. So you guys, this, that picture we were just showing is from this Time magazine issue, as Tina and I were just talking about, because I didn't know the word. I was at Fleet Farm this weekend buying some flowers, and this was on the stand, and it immediately grabbed my attention, probably because it had emojis all over it. It works on me just as well as it works on the kids, clearly. But I think what even grabbed my attention more about this is it just said, it was all about the science of happiness. And it says the things that contribute to happiness are relationships, exercise, inner life, diet, and meditation. Get my 5 over here. And I thought, wow, how, first of all, if we did all those things, just how healthy would we be? And then not only that, but how happy would we be? So I bought it. I totally got sucked in. And since I brought it home, I'm in love with it. You guys, I really think you should go buy this and keep it as desk reference at home, because the entire thing is about life happiness. And
I like it. It sounds like it sums up sort of what we've been talking about on this show.
Completely. And so there's all these like little sections about, mind, life, spirit. My orientation is not very good today. There's all these things. So there's just all these different articles about happiness and different things. So, something else I think I definitely know some folks struggling with this relationship piece with social distancing. And so I think it's important for everybody to just kind of remember that whatever form that has to come in for you right now, it's really important to find your way. For some people that's in person, for some people that's masked, for some people that's over FaceTime. But I thought I didn't feel like it was a coincidence for me that relationship was listed first.
I love it. I love it. And I think you showed me a quote in there earlier.
Let's see. Is it the marriage quote we were talking about?
Yeah, since you're talking about relationships.
Yeah. So as you guys know, Tina and I are big fans of marriage. and love our marriage. Now I can't find it, of course. Stay with me. And so one of the things that was in here, let's see if I can get this.
Yeah, right there.
Marriage.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, Tina. I'll hold it. You read.
Marriage today offers higher order benefits. It's as if it used to be a Honda, a perfectly utilitarian ride, but now it's a Benz.
How awesome is that?
I love that. It really encourages, cherishing that relationship. It is something to love and to nurture and to care for, to respect. It's not just something that, utilitarian is not a way I would want to think of my marriage.
Right. And I just think about, certainly purchasing a Mercedes-Benz is not an easy decision for most people. Maybe for some it is, but I think about the investment and the care that would go into making that decision. And that is how I treat my marriage. And it is an investment. It does require upkeep. And Tina and I joke, it needs to be fueled. Like, it is something to be cared for. And I love the concept of just, this is an elite thing that could be strived for.
And sometimes it breaks down.
Yeah.
And you have to get it, you fix it, you do what you can, right?
Roth, you got a Benz, girl. Yeah.
Really, that's a really cool quote, Kristin.
But I think the idea is you also wouldn't just discard a Mercedes-Benz. You would want to care for it and have it fixed and kind of make that investment in it, right? It's something to kind of be cherished and cared for. And, in a marriage too, things don't always go great. Sometimes you fight or sometimes you bicker, right? And so it does take a little bit extra effort and investment on those days to make it work, but it's possible.
Right. And it's not something you want to be reckless with. Yeah. Sometimes you drive it fast, but you don't want to be reckless.
Right. Right.
What were you saying too, that a good quality car needs to be lubricated?
I did.
Anyway.
That wasn't supposed to be for on-screen TV time, but you go with it. Thanks, Tina.
What? Okay, I'm not a repairman. I guess maybe I don't know my car parts.
They do. So the other thing that I flagged today with this nice hot pink Post-it was there's a whole section on resilience and meditation and mind. And, I think more and more I'm learning that your mind is a very powerful thing. It can be trained to be resilient or to endure things you think are difficult. And the best example I have for you this morning is I was at the gym working out today, and we were doing box jumps, but we were not really allowed to land with a bend in our knees. We had to actually make this vertical jump. And I started with this little teeny, this much. And when I finished, I was jumping on a regular 16-inch box. I didn't think I could do it. In my mind, I did not think I could do it. But every time we went through it, I added height. And pretty soon I'm pretty sure I'm not too far off of that box anymore. Right? So my mind was what was preventing me from doing it, not my physical capability.
Wow.
Right?
Interesting.
So here's a list of things, expert tips in resilience. The first one, develop a core set of beliefs that nothing can shake. Okay. Number 2, try to find meaning in whatever stressful or traumatic thing has happened. Right? So it can serve a purpose or a role. Number 3, try to maintain a positive outlook. Number 4, take cues from someone who is especially resilient. And I really love this because people talk about surrounding yourself with people that help you grow, help you develop, keep things positive. So that really kind of affirms that. Don't run from things that scare you, face them. Number 6, be quick to reach out for support when things go haywire. And I love this because there's always, always, always someone in your network who can help you. I think you just have to reach out. Number 7, learn new things as often as you can. Number 8, find an exercise regimen you'll stick to. Sometimes that requires a whole lot of brain power and willpower. Number 9, don't beat yourself up or dwell on the past. And number 10, recognize what makes you uniquely strong and own it.
That is a great list. Put that up to the camera. Let's just get a quick look at that. And great advice.
Right?
Really good words to live by.
So
and I think too, the important one, Kristin, reach out when there is trouble, right? Like if there's something that is bothering you or that you're confronted with, I feel like when you can talk to somebody else, it really unburdens things, almost like greater than half, right? Something can seem so momentous and insurmountable. And if you talk to somebody about it, even just the act of sharing, oftentimes moves that block and you can start getting beyond it. That's really good advice.
I think in the day and age of social media too, it's so easy to hop on and say, who has experience with this? Right? And then all of a sudden you have this support system of, actually, this is how I found the person that built my website for my business. I literally just threw something out there. Who knows people who will do this? I'm looking for somebody's small business. And then boom, right? So, and it can be troubles. It can be, I need help, all those kinds of things. Cindy, you're so smart.
Patty asked the same thing. So
I will snap it and post it and share it right after we get off the call today. And you know what? I don't know what I spent on this. By the way, I should just mention, I do not work for Time Magazine. I'm not an authorized representative of Time Magazine, but I really love what they got going on here today. It appears, it says $14.99. I don't think I really paid $14.99 for it, but if I did, it's worth it. Go buy it. It's like eating out one time.
I mean, we've already got almost that value from it. It has been such a nice conversation starter. And like you were saying, Kristin, if you keep it on your desk as a desk reference, something that you can refer to, I love it.
Yeah, I feel like it's one of those things you can have. It is a special edition. So maybe you should buy two, put one in the trunk because maybe it's worth money someday. The desk version. Or maybe then you'd have a backup in case this one wears out from all the referencing.
Or one to give to a friend or something like that.
Yeah, I love that. Share the happiness. Here, maybe, how cool would it be if we were like, here, I'll pass it over to you, and then you could.
if I could just take it, yeah, that would. We should have planned ahead.
It's okay.
Next time we should plan to pass something like that. That'd be funny.
I love it. Very good.
Well, this has been such a fun conversation. Unfortunately, our guest couldn't join us this morning. She got violently sick, so this was a very enjoyable conversation. And like one of the points on that reference list said, make the best out of a situation. This was such a cool conversation. Thank you to everybody that participated with your comments. I would say go forward and enjoy the week with the mind of a child if you can. And we look forward to seeing you next time.
And share some happiness, friends. Share it. Share our post so that other people can hear about it.
Absolutely. Right. The more of us that join in the conversation, the better it is. The deeper it is, the more exciting it is. All right, folks, enjoy your day on the coolest coast. We'll see you next time on Coffee with Kristin and